What is going on, guys? Your boy Guns here, and we were able to test out Ilio Max. Okay, we were able to test out Ilio Max over on our com account on Manduski. Okay, so all right, let me show you guys. Okay, first of all, what are we gonna talk about? I'm gonna talk about, is Elio worth it? Okay. Two, around the rankings of where he's currently landing. 3, would I go for him or Saluna? Because that's one of the biggest answers, and we'll try to answer that one the best we can. Here we go. Okay, guys. First of all, I'm going to show you guys the reports and the comparison. Keep in mind, these reports were a little tough because they were doing a bunch of city hopping. Okay? So a lot of these were just doing the best we can, but you can see we got a lot of reports for you guys. Okay, so starting off here at the top, this was like a stand and bang situation. That's why you see the merits are low, but the main thing to focus here is how it does in comparison to the other marches. Keep in mind, you know, I could be in KVK 5000 and show you guys like 100, 200, 300k reports, but this is KVK 1 of G3, right? So, you know, our opponents aren't weak per se, right? So the main thing to look at is the comparison. But look at that, pretty close together there with the Saluna Elio, and then the Saluna Elio we had the Mirage Orb and a Seraphic. Okay, all right, so moving on to the next bit. Here is one that we had that still had a lot of troops left. Look at this one, 7.8 to 80.9. This one had 7.5 to 52.9. This one had 5.4 to 62.5. So pretty crazy trades, right? There. So it was still second here, okay? So right, like, and then here is a flyer setup, okay? This is straight flying. We use the Thea Atheist kind of like as a support march with a Visage on it. And then here we had Saluna and Elio that were up on a hill just raining down on people. Look at that trade, 36.5k to 135 or 134.5. Okay, I even tried Elio out with tanks. We even tried him out with tanks. You can see here it was with tanks, and look at that report, guys. 24.6k. So for you Krakens out there, you guys run out of stamina a lot, or even some high spenders, like he's decent for. I even tried him out with Akuma to see how it would do, but it did better with the Saluna for some reason. But very minimal test there, and then a 16k over here with the tanks as well. So like it didn't go crazy. Like a Kuma Kwan was getting me like 35-40k. A Jordan Ella was like 30k's, high 20s. So like, you know, it's good for like if you're cracking and needed that extra march for some more stamina, right? So, and then moving on here, here's another comparison here where Elio and Saluna were able to beat Vardoon and Kantaman. Granted, the Kantaman on this account is not awakened, so if Kantaman was awakened here, it would definitely make a big difference and more than likely be higher than the two other marches. But it's still good to see like how well it's doing, even compared to like a Mean Grimora, for example. Okay, check a look at the trades. 37.8k to 149, 42.4 to 145. Okay, and then our next one we got Vardoon Kantaman 47.2, Mean Grimora 54.2, and look at this one 63.0. So okay, let me turn my camera on for this. This goes out for all those times that, I mean, we're not gonna say names, but there's a lot of people that have been saying that, oh my god, like that Elio doesn't look worth it, that he looks trash, da 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 da. Look, I'm gonna answer that first question that I told you guys, and I did think that just looking at his kit, we said damage way too many times for Elio to not be in the starting lineup, okay? But that does come with some implications, right? We'll talk about that. I was fortunate enough for this report that I was able to micro my Elio on top of an area where we were able to get his second skill going off, so you can see. The march went off, guys. The march went off. 41.1 to 164 compared to Mean Grimora at 39 to 141. Like, it's doing a lot of damage, okay? Next one here, same thing. I'm just showing you guys consistently how it's doing, right? Because one thing is showing you guys like one report, like boom, like, oh, look, here's what it is. Like, No, it's better. Like, nah, bro. I tested it out a lot, and like I said, and I even went as far as testing it out with Thea. And look, with Thea, it did okay. Now you can still run that Saluna Burt and go Elio Thea. I do think that that's definitely gonna be into the lineup. That's a whole nother video of what my lineup's gonna be for this season coming up. On the main account, but I'm just showing you guys here how close it is in comparison. We even went as far as trying them out with Ballhorn, still did decent, not the best. So in order of like this best pairing from what I've tested, definitely Elio Saluna or Saluna Elio. I'll show you guys my Elio build, which I think did better than Saluna Primary, but like I said, we still need to do more testings for that. And then here is the build. Okay, here is the build that I was running with Elio. So I went full PvP tree. Okay, no march speed. It was still a lot faster than the march. But just because, like, look, is it nice to have your march speed like synced? Sure. Okay, but he's a flyer march. Okay, so that's a whole nother video where like you got to work on your micro to be able to press the hotkey on the keyboard. For those of you guys, I mean, if you're playing on phone, that's gonna be a lot harder to micro that solo march. Still doable, but a little bit harder, right? Whereas a keyboard, you can just press that one button and micro it quickly over to the mountainside or a little rock. But here is the build that we're running with no march speed. It was still like 10 seconds faster from point A to point B from like a 3 different square, like a 3 square difference. But this is the build that we were running. Okay, now with this one, you could potentially go with Vigor to just give you guys more survivability, but I went with Breachblade because I always run Breachblade for this specific setup. And I chose Stubborn Fighter because I definitely was out there when he was under 50% multiple times. So I'm like, why not? Let me just get some more extra damage there. So that's what I was running with it. Let me show you guys the Seraphic. I do think the Seraphic was definitely the better move here. Let's go sit and let me show you guys this one. Okay, so you guys can see the pet damage. Okay, pet damage 108.8k. Okay, on that one, and then on this one, the pet damage was 157.3, right, for the Flaming Mantis. Okay, so and then this one over here, the Magifox at 144. So you can see like the Seraphic was doing some pretty good work and doing a little bit of healing, not too much. Okay, I even tried it out with the Sapphire a little bit. I forget which report I had with the Sapphire, but I mean it was still doing still doing pretty good. I would definitely recommend this. I think the Elio primary was doing better. I think we were just getting a lot more damage output with that one on top of all the damage output that it already has. Now, to answer the question of is it better than Saluna, I'm not sure. Honestly, today I tested Elio at max. We were fortunate enough to test it out maxed, so I'm not sure which one is better because Saluna is insane. I would probably put my money on Saluna. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I probably put my money on Saluna because I haven't really tested out Elio with Bertrand. We did try out Elio with Thea, and we saw that it did good. Elio with Ballhorn, and it did good. But I'm not sure like which one would be better, like Elio Bertrand or Elio Saluna. That's gonna take a lot of testing, but I will say, like, I mean, for Elio, you're looking at a 5-1-5-1, and same thing for Saluna at a 5-1-5-1, and you're going to be able to get a lot of value out of those two. And here's the build once again. I will be doing even more testing, but here's the thing, okay? Here's something to think about. On that account, I'm at like 53% deco. The biggest problem that I see with Elio Saluna for a lot of you guys that are low decos is the survivability of the march, okay? Because if you're going to be hitting those max deco players, it's going to be very difficult for you guys to be able to get some good reports. Now, for some of you guys that are a little bit more low spend that are going to go with the Elio Saluna, what I recommend for you guys is 4 Sanglizzies, okay? 4 Sanglizzies and then Elio Saluna with either a Seraphic or whatever pet you have ready. I wouldn't go out of my way to build a whole nother damage pet for them unless you already have one, and just go with the one you have and improve it, right? I wouldn't build an entirely new one. Now, I do think that this specific pairing is going to be meta. If you made it this far in the video, let me show you guys what I think is going to be my lineup for coming up season. So you guys get a little extra nugget at the end here. Vardun Kantaman, Ming Gramora, Elio Thea, and then Bert Saluna with my one tank. I do think this is probably going to be the meta for March mage to one tank, more than likely, but we'll see. We'll see how good we're doing survivability wise and all that. So I mean, we do have a good one here. Now for the 5 mage setup, once again, if you made it this far, we'll probably end up trying like a Elio Ballhorn, then like a Muthe as a support. We'll see, guys. I haven't fully made up my mind, and I mean, we're gonna test a bunch of stuff, especially this season. More than likely, we're gonna fight why it says so. We'll have plenty of testing for you guys here, guys. We'll have plenty of testing for you guys. So, anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed that, let's see what else. What else did we miss? Anything? Do I recommend him? Yes, I do recommend. I strongly recommend him. Okay, I do think that he has a place within the mage lineup for a long time. It's even when you're in the flyer situation, right? Because when the G6 mages comes, you're just gonna replace this 5th March here. Like I said, Elio is gonna land in 3rd or 4th, and if he's up on a cliff getting the buff the entire time, he could be even 2nd. He has potential to even be 2nd with the specific set. I mean, you guys saw it. I showed you guys the reports. Like, I'm not just talking conspiracies here. We're talking raw field. You guys saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making this up. Like, at first, I'm telling you guys, like, I do think he's gonna be in the lineup based off his kit. Da 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 da. And now I'm showing you guys literal proof of the March doing good. I do think, however, going for Vardun Kantaman or like a Ming Gramora or a Ming Talea or a Ming Bertrand is probably better with the Sand Glizzy for 80% of you guys. But, you know, if you don't struggle from counterattack damage as much, then I would definitely get that in there. This is something that you guys need to take account for of how it's doing. Now, I will be testing out Elio on my low spend account, on the Queenie account this weekend at the 5111 configuration to kind of see how it's doing even at that low of a level. So I'm looking forward to that, guys. I mean, he's looking pretty good so far. I want to see how he does with the flying chickens. I'm sure my boy Fluffy Waffles is going to be on that. We'll even see how he does with elk riders, everything else. But for right now, like the main bread and butter for mages, I can pretty confidently say that he's definitely going to be part of that starting lineup, man. He just does so much damage. He just does so much damage. So, I mean, we'll see. And, you know, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell notification. That way you guys don't miss out on any further updates on Elio. If you want to be patient, then just work on whatever you're working on, like your Saluna, your Joranella, your Kumakwan, whatever, and then just kind of watch my videos and see as I update these heroes to see how they continue to rank amongst the mage lineup. But right now, they're definitely looking at 2nd when they're up on cliffs and get the full 30% damage buff. When they're not up on a cliff or somewhere where they get the full damage buff, they're looking at like 3rd or 4th place at times, but definitely part of the starting lineup one way or another. Okay. Now now the other question I'm sure you guys have is Elio Saluna better than Bert Saluna? I don't know. Well, we're gonna have to see. To be honest. So I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more testing for you guys. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys drop a like on this video. Definitely helps me out a ton, and I look forward to doing some more testing for you guys. All right, guys. Until next time, it's your boy Guns, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.